All right, so we're going to start just by laying on your back, down on your mat, and then we're just going to check in on our body position. So for everything we do, we always want to prioritize posture, and then what we would do with our hips and our shoulders in the squat, the push-up, and the jump. So go ahead and squeeze your butt cheeks together. Draw your belly button down into the floor or into your spine. And let's just take a few breaths as you try and calm down from your day, but breathing into that tight body position. Then let's walk your feet up. So your feet are going to be near your butt, flat on the floor. Make sure we get set up before we do anything. So we're going to draw that belly button in. And now you're going to shove your hips high up in the air. Doing a bridge, making sure your butt cheeks stay nice and squeezed. We're just going to breathe. All right, let's put the hips back down. Let's straighten our legs, and then we're going to pull the left leg up to us. And we're just going to kind of hug that into our chest. But we can kind of also do a joint distraction here. So if you look up at me real fast, we can get that femur getting pushed down at its socket if I put pressure downwards on my knee. So I'm not just pulling back, I'm trying to push down and pull back at the same time. Getting that extra pressure will help me set that hip back in its socket where we want it to go. From a lot of sitting, front of the hip gets real tight and these things get pulled forward. And sometimes just some added pressure, we can literally push that femur back where it needs to go. So we're just kind of wiggling around there, trying to add that pressure. Okay, now your right hand is going to go over your leg as you rotate out to the side and reach your left hand out. Try and keep your left shoulder down on the ground. Your belly button's drawn in. And just breathe as we're getting that twist. Okay, now come back up to center. Put that left foot on the ground next to your butt. And we're going to draw your belly button in. We're going to pick that right leg up as high as you can. Then we're going to point the toe. And then you're going to bridge on that left leg. So draw the belly button in, come up, and you're just trying to push that toe straight up in the air, squeezing that left butt cheek. From here, drawing the belly button in, just trying to breathe. Now flex and point your toe. And then put your butt on the ground, but leave that foot in the air. You're going to rotate it and bring that leg up on top of your quad. You're going to reach through your legs and around, and we're going to do a pigeon pose here. So I'm pulling that left knee to my chest, and the right leg is trapped behind it. I'm going to flex that right foot, and I'm just breathing here. Okay, now let's straighten those legs out. We're going to do the same thing, but on the other side. So let's pick up that right leg. We're going to pull the knee up to the chest. You can add that added pressure pushing down. We're just going to search around different angles. Breathing. Then put that left hand over the knee. The right hand is going to go out to the side. We're just going to rotate out to the side, get a twist in, trying to keep that right shoulder on the ground, palm up in the air. That right palm is up in the air, belly button's drawn in. Just taking some breaths there. All right, come back up. We're going to put that right foot on the ground next to your butt. Draw the belly button in as you lift that left leg up. Point the toe. And we're going to do that bridge on the right side. So my right butt cheek is flexed. Pushing my hips up high. Just trying to stabilize and breathe in this position. Then let's flex that left foot and point. Flex, point. Then butt on the ground, leave that left foot in the air. Then we'll put it on top of the right quad. We're going to reach through and around to grab that leg. Flex that foot. And then we're just going to pull that knee into the chest and just try and relax there and breathe. All right, let's go long with the legs. We're going to put your arms straight out to the side. Then we're going to take your right leg, stick it up in the air. We're going to try and go as close to your left hand as possible. And then we're going to come back up to center and then switch legs. That left leg up, go as close to that right hand as possible. And then we're going to switch back. So we're just going to alternate here. So right leg up, rotate it out. Back to the center and down. Left leg up. Rotate it out. Back to the center and down. Right leg up. This time we're going to go out and we're going to pause there. So try and keep your shoulders on the ground. Just try and breathe. Hopefully you didn't run into your couch like I did. Just breathe. Let's bring that right leg up, put it down, left one up, come down. Same thing. We're just going to breathe, trying to keep both shoulders on the ground, trying to get that foot as close to the hand as we can get it. All right, left leg up to the center, and then we'll just sit up. We'll get on all fours here. And we're just going to turn our hands around backwards. So from this position, let's make sure we get our core set so we don't want that saggy back. So belly button drawn in. Let's get the shoulders back in their sockets. Then we're just going to lean back and forward and back. As you lean back into the fingertips, try and feel your palms stay down on the ground. Just like when we're squatting. Oh, Brittany's got a dog running around. That's fun. But just like we're squatting, we want to keep your heels and your toes engaged at the same time. So we want that full hand engaged. So now we're going to go off to the side and then rotate around. Almost like a half moon semicircle as I'm going out to the left and then back and then out to the right. Checking in that my belly button's still drawn in, my shoulders are still back in their sockets. All right, let's turn our hands around. So now my pointer finger is facing straight, just like in a push-up. I'm going to twist into the ground, and now I'm going to keep my back neutral, and I'm just going to move my shoulder blades around. So I'm keeping my elbows locked out, my elbow pit is facing forward, and I'm just dropping my chest to the ground and pushing away. Going in and out. Now when I drop my shoulders or my chest down, I'm going to roll my shoulders up and shrug and then push away from the ground. And then I'm going to go chest down, roll my shoulders up, push away from the ground, shoulders down, roll them up, push away, shoulders back in their sockets. Now we're going to roll down your back and then push away. So drop your chest down, roll the shoulders down your back, push away, drop down, roll down your back, and push away. Okay, now you're going to move your right hand forward just a little bit. We're going to take your left hand and come completely under you. Get your shoulder, you can put your head on the ground, and I like to use that right hand to push even further to get a little more rotation there. I'm drawing my belly button in, just trying to breathe. I'm going to come up and I'm going to go do the same thing on the other side. So I'm reaching my right hand through. I can let my left hand bend a little bit. Head down, shoulder down, and I'm going to push to get a little bit of rotation there. Then we'll come back on all fours. We're going to do some cat and cows. So drop your belly, extend your butt, look up, drop the shoulders, or drop the chest, I mean. Then push everything, tuck everything as you really push away from the ground. You can breathe in and go into the cat. Breathe out, go to the cow. All right, let's walk your hands forward. Thumbs together. Let's twist into the ground just like we would in a push-up. So my elbow pits are trying to face up into the ceiling, and I'm just going to shove my hips down. So I'm really trying to keep my hands engaged and my back muscles engaged, and I'm mimicking what an overhead position would look like. Drawing the belly button in. Then I'm going to lean as far to the left as I can, keeping real active in my hands and trying to keep those arms straight. Then I'm going to go real far to the right. All right, now let's push into down dog. So we're going to have that same push-up grip into the ground as I push up, stick my butt up in the air, and we can just pedal our feet back and forth here. Okay, we're going to start with your left leg. We're going to take your left leg up in the air, and then we're going to put it over your body, bend your knee, but stay active with your hands, just like you would in an overhead position. And then you're going to pull that knee up to your nose in between your legs. And then we're just going to stand up with a wide stance here. And then I'm just going to bend over. And I'm going to wiggle around a little bit here. We can trace semicircles on the ground. Just put your left hand right in the middle. Leave your hips still and let only your back rotate up. Breathe. Let's go to the other side. Make sure as we reach up, that palm is up. Breathe. All right, so now we're going to just stand up. Let's go ahead and get into our squat position. And we're going to squat down. And we're just going to wiggle around and goof around down here. Okay, now let's get into a really good squat position. So feet flat on the floor, just like what we were doing with our hands. We want to feel your toes and your heels. Let's go ahead and just do 3 air squats. Squat down just perfectly. Come back up. Draw that belly button in. All right. Then we're just going to balance on our left foot. Butt tight, belly button drawn in. Then you're going to take that right foot and you can grab it with your hand and we're going to put it on your left thigh and we're going to turn that knee way, way out. I'm trying to squeeze my butt cheeks here, draw my belly button in. I'm trying to stay tall. Okay, now we're going to do a modified pigeon, so a balancing one. We're going to put that leg over it, over the other leg, and we're just going to squat down and really lean into it. Okay, then we're going to come back up. All right, shake it out a little bit. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do some one-legged work on this left side. And your goal is to keep that full foot flat on the floor without the knee and without the ankle collapsing. So focusing on the feet, you're just going to go as low as you can. We're going to balance. And I'm going to make that right foot go out as far as I can, as close to the ground as I can, as I go as low as I can, and take a couple breaths, and then come back up. We're going to keep doing kind of goofier and goofier things as we hit different angles here. So now we're going to go back, focusing on that balance, keeping that foot as close to the ground as you can. Reach it way back. As you go as low as you can, breathe, and come back up. Even if you only go just a little bit, that's okay. Now we're going to go out to the side, so just perpendicular to you, go as low as you can, keeping that foot as close to the ground as you can. Breathe and come back up. Then the last one we're doing here, we're going to go perpendicular the other direction. So that foot is going to wrap behind and around as you go down as low as you can. Breathe and come back up. Okay, so now with that left foot forward, the right foot is going to go back and down. This looks like our split jerk position. Okay, but we're going to load that back leg a little more. So my butt is tight, my belly button's drawn in this position. With that, I'm going to straighten that leg out. Okay, so that back leg gets straightened out, but first I got to squeeze and get tight, then straighten. With everything tight, I'm going to put my hands up in the air, palms facing backwards. I'm going to bring my arms down, and I'm really just mimicking a pressing motion here. Because if we were holding a barbell, we would create that torque into the barbell. I'm just going up and down. All right, now let's drop that back knee to the ground. You can go on top of that back foot. We can actually work that knee back a little bit more. Again, squeeze that butt cheek, draw the belly button in, shove your hips down. We're going to rotate to the left and rotate to the right. Just going back and forth, left, right, left, right. Then we're going to go on the side of that foot. So my foot is turned on its side, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to go as far to the left as I can. Check in, make sure that belly button's drawn in. Hitting different goofy angles here. Back and forth. Okay, now what I'm going to do is just lean back as I straighten that leg. And then bend just a little bit and straighten just over and over again. Then I can start flexing the foot. So I'm going to straighten my leg, flex my quad, flex my foot. Getting into that hamstring. If this is too hard on you, you can come up more. If it's too easy, you can really lean into it more. We're just trying to get that leg all the way straight, staying dynamic here. All right, let's push into downward dog. Pedal your feet around. Let's take that right foot in the air. Wrap it over, bend the knee. Check in on your hands. They should be twisting just like a push-up. Now try and bring that right knee up towards the nose and place that foot on the ground. And then we're going to get back into that split position, and we're just going to wiggle around here. Okay, now we're going to bend the legs, or bend the knees a little bit and put your hands on your thighs. And rotate a shoulder forward. and then the other shoulder forward. It's going back and forth. Trying to get rotation. Try and keep belly button in and chest high. Okay, now in that kind of sumo squatty position, I'm going to stay really tall. And I'm going to try and go just straight over the side. You can put that other arm on your leg if you want. But think of just being in one two-dimensional space. Let's go to the other side. Breathe. All right. Let's come up in our squat stance. Feel your feet. We're going to screw our feet in the floor, belly button drawn in. Let's go ahead and do 3 squats. All right. Then we're going to come up and we're going to balance on that right foot. You can pick that knee up. That leg is parallel. You can grab your foot, bring it in onto your thigh. Squeeze your butt cheeks. Try and stay nice and tall here. Then bring that leg over on top in that standing pigeon, and we're just going to bend and kind of squat into it and lean into it. You can flex that left foot. All right, come up and we'll just shake it out a little bit. Now we're going to do those goofy kind of one-legged squats going in all directions. So we'll start just by balancing on that right foot. We're going to start by squatting down, getting that left foot as close to the ground as possible as you just fight for that stability in the foot. Once you get to those bottom positions, give it a breath. Try and control it. Now we're going to go back. Foot as low to the ground as you can go. Take a breath. Come back up. We're going to go out to the side. It's just perpendicular to you. Just putting that focus on your feet and trying to strengthen the feet and get stability there. We'll come back up. Then we're going to go out the other way, so your foot's going to go behind you. Really reaching with that left foot way out. And then back up. Okay, now with the right foot forward, we're going to put the left foot back, like we're in a split jerk position. Now our butt's tight, belly button's drawn in. With that tight position, then I'm going to try and straighten that leg out. But that straightness only matters if I'm nice and tight here. Then arms are going to go up in the air, palms facing back. Pull down, pulling the shoulder blades together. Push up. Come down. Push up. Come down. Push up. Okay, now we can drop that knee to the ground. Squeeze that back butt cheek. We're just going to rotate as far to the right as we can, as far to the left as we can, back to the right, back to the left, to the right, to the left. We're going to go on the side of your foot, and we're going to go to the right and to the left. Make sure that left butt cheek stays nice and flat, or flex, sorry. Back and forth here. Okay, we're going to straighten that leg, flex the quad, flex the foot, and bend just a little bit. Just trying to dynamically go to the end range of that hamstring. All right, so now we're just going to sit down. We're going to put your right shin in front of the other one. So I'm not sitting on top, just one's right in front of the other one. I'm going to get really tall, belly button drawn in, and then I'm just going to lean forward. Just try and go down. Trying to relax and breathe. Not trying to force anything, just trying to relax. Then I'm going to come up. I'm going to go over my right side. And I'm just going to put my left hand on my knee and just reach back. I'm going to try and stay really tall. I'm just going to twist as far as I can and breathe. And then I'll come back and switch the feet. So now my left shin is going to be forward. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to lean into it, get tall first, draw that belly button in, lean into it. You put your hands out forward and just try and relax. All right, we'll come up. Now, right hand on the left knee. We're just going to reach back, try and get tall. Twist and breathe. All right, let's just spread the legs out straight and to the sides. And let's go right down the middle here. Then we'll go off to the right side. So we don't want to spend too long doing static stretches. Let's go to the left side. Because if we spend a really long time in these positions, it can be really fatiguing for the muscles and really affect our performance. So we want to do things just a little more dynamically, even when we're taking these kind of longer yoga-ish sessions. Let's go back to the middle. Now we'll just kind of go as far as you can, relaxed, and then we'll go back to the right again. We'll just be a little quicker in these, and then back to the left. Okay, then we're going to come in and just get in the butterfly position. And same thing, we're just going to lean forward. Okay, now we're just going to come up on our knees. Sit tall, try and get those shoulders back. We're going to interlock our fingers behind us. Try and straighten those arms out. And then just try and lift the arms. Think about just getting reps in here. Okay, now lift the arms and lean forward. We can wiggle from side to side. And we'll come back up. We're going to switch our grip. So interlock your fingers the other way now. So just the goofier way, whatever feels weirder. And we're going to do the same thing. Lift up. Then we're going to lift up and we're going to go forward. All right, so now we're going to pull those shoulders back. We're going to take your hands and just stick them on your butt. But really, we're trying to not dump our shoulders forward. So we're really trying to keep our rib cage controlled, belly button drawn in. We're not overextending. Keep it controlled, but we are extending. Shoulders back, hands here. And then we're just going to lean back as much as we can. And just breathe. Wherever you feel tightness, try and let that breath go into those positions. All right. Let's get back into a push-up plank position. Let's just go ahead and do 3 perfect push-ups. If you need to put your knees down, we can, but let's keep the butt tight. All right, nice. All right, so now we're just gonna do some smashing. We are just gonna use body parts to smash, and then we might move into some stuff with a foam roller and a lacrosse ball, depending on how much time we have left. So we're just gonna start with your biceps and triceps. So we'll start with the tricep. So you can just kind of get into a one-legged kind of kneeling lunge thing. And we're just gonna put that tricep up on your knee. So we're just gonna use that kneecap, and we're gonna let our arm go out here, and we're just using that bone to smash our tricep. So we can do different things here. We can scrub, which just means I'm kind of moving back and forth. If you feel lumpy, so as I'm coming like this and rotating my hand in, I feel like my muscle kind of falls off of itself. That just means I'm really tight there. So what I'm going to do is go back and then just go really, really slow. And trying to get to those end ranges before I feel like that muscle just kind of clumps over off the side. And eventually I should be able to just go smooth through it. But as tissues get matted down and tight, so I'm trying to get as far as I can before it clumps over and then kind of back off of it a little bit. Okay, now we're just going to go after your bicep. So kind of the same way. Do a little bit of more just searching around and more broad smashing and scrubbing around. Then as you find the specific areas, then target a specific area.
Hey, Kyle, I have a question.
Yeah.
On the tricep one, I felt like the most pain was near like the elbow, but I don't think there's a muscle there. Is that right? Or
Right where you're pointing?
yeah, like closer down here than it is like here.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, there's muscle down there. Yeah, and that just means that's the area that you'll wanna go to. Yeah. And then Alina, it's just trying to feel the difference of weird versus it hurts a little bit. Like you'll know when it just feels wrong sometimes.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the other side.
Arms, are we still arms?
What, Brittany?
Did we already switch arms?
We just switched arms right now. Yeah, so let's go to the other side, hitting the tricep on the left side now. And you can do it with your arm bent like this, but you really get at those tissues a little bit. We want to do both, but we can really get deeper into it when we kind of, I guess, let the tricep unlengthen. All right, let's move to the bicep. All right.